Yeah. Hello, everybody. Hello. Please ignore the cable. Hi. Hello. Happy Hobbit Day, everybody. Happy Hobbit Day. My door is not shut. I need to shut that. I also need to tidy this. You guys can't see it, thankfully, because of the chair. But down there, this corner by my bookcase is a fucking death trap. That's my job for my week off next week. Yes. And this is the other job. Basically, I'm tidying in here next week. Also, hi. One thing before we get started with the painting. I've just seen a thing. When I went to post on the on my socials, I saw that for Hobbit Day, they've shown us what's in the new box. There's a new starter box coming, which we already knew, but now I'm guessing we know what's in it. I think. Whoops. Oh, where am I? Anyway. Anyway. Isn't it the same thing? Yes, but it's just the names. The new names annoy me. Like, it's not my fault. I call them Sisters of Battle because that's what they were called in Dawn of War. Which is the main thing I knew them from, because no one around me when I played it back when I was a teenager had Sisters of Battle. I only knew them because they were in the second expansion. No, not. Were they the second expansion of Dawn of War? Were they Soulstorm? I think they were Soulstorm. They were either second or third. The Emperor of Mankind was fucking nerd. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. He was a nerd and he went out like a bitch. And that's coming from someone who does... I've tried to get into the Horus Heresy books. I've listened to the... There's just so much. And it's all like... I like it when it's not focusing on the Primarchs, essentially. Like, Primarch shit is what I really don't care about when it comes to the Horus Heresy. I like... Again, I like the Imperium stuff when it's done, like, Agents of the Imperium stuff, like Inquisition shit, and Imperial Guard. Because I like that sort of story. I don't care about Primarchs. Primarchs are just up themselves dickwads who all have like one personality trait. Though I'm sure if I actually read some like actual Primarch focused stuff, then I enjoy it. I like the models. Some of those Primarch models are fucking sweet. But I do not care about them as characters. Because I don't really care about the Space Marines. The only Space Marine I like is Titus. Though I haven't played Space Marine 2 yet. But I like Space Marine 1 because I've been replaying that. Because I got the remastered version on Steam a couple days ago, back during the summer sale. Because it was cheap. And I wanted to replay it before Space Marine 2 came out. Because I haven't played it since it first came out on the PS3. Dawn of War is so old, dude. I know. I know. I am. Right. Shall we get some music going? I think we shall. As usual, while we're doing our Lord of the Rings stuff, because we can't have the actual Lord of the Rings soundtrack. Because I ain't willing to risk that shit. I know what Warner Brothers are like. They will come down on me like
New Aussie Super Serum for 100 hours of moisturized
Fuck
hair.
off. Go
Aussie,
away.
Have you tried it yet?
Thousands of years ago on the island of Ireland, as the harvest met the...
Yeah, cool. See, the problem is, if I have ad block on, YouTube doesn't fucking work for me. Like some days it's just YouTube will just stop working. I will also turn that down a little bit on the actual player, and I will. If you guys need me to lower or raise the music, let me know. Stay. Is this properly tight? Yes. It's as tight as it will go. But no, I fucking love Dawn of War. Dawn of War was what kept me interested in Warhammer. It's what kept my interest in it going. Because I started playing it. I started playing Warhammer, and then I discovered Dawn of War. And I was like, oh, this is a way for me to like explore it without having to spend a shit ton of money. Because I'm 12 and I don't have money. Also, I'm 12 and I already play Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't have the money for both. I don't have money for both new Yu-Gi-Oh! Boosters and also Warhammer. I need to sort through this paint pot. Not paint pot. You know what I mean. Where is... That's what I'm looking for. Because we need a small brush. I don't think I've used this brush yet. I'm actually going to lower the volume in my headphones a little bit. There we go. Yes, so minis we are painting today. We have Martin Freeman Bilbo from the Foreign's Company set, and we have Ian Holm Bilbo, which, not counting the goblins and the Warriors of the Last Alliance from the starter box, from the Fellowship of the Ring starter box that I've got, is possibly the oldest model I own in terms of Lord of the Rings stuff. I don't know. I don't know when he came out, but I know he was one of the first ones. Because basically when you got the original starter box back in the day, it came with a little like send-off code to get one of him. I'm actually gonna pop you guys over there so I can actually see chat, because when my camera is down like that I can't see chat through the arm. But yeah, he might be the oldest that isn't a goblin or a Warrior of the Last Alliance. I'm not sure. It's either him or possibly the Fellowship. Oh, I'm missing a thing. I got distracted. I got distracted by the fact that we have new models coming. Did they say a release date? No, I will look at it later. I will be back in a moment. Paint palette might be fucking useful. I'm still shifting all of my painting stuff into here. I'm essentially turning this into both an office and painting studio, because basically my plan is bookcase that's next to me, I'm getting proper paint racks built to go on the top of it, so that way I have all of my paints out, so I'm not working out the boxes. Oh, can't paracetamol my way out of this one. Yeah, COVID's a fucking bitch. If it is COVID, both times I've had it, it killed me for the first couple days, and then it slowly got better over the course of the following weeks. And by slowly, I mean fucking painfully slowly. Just in case that brush is a bit too small. Yeah, I think this Ian Holm Bilbo, it's definitely among the earliest models I own. Again, it's like him, the Metal Fellowship, Arwen. Actually, no, Arwen wasn't around at the Arwen was one of the last heroes to come out for Fellowship of the Ring, if I remember correctly. Because she isn't in the book. I have the book up there. Like the original book. She's not in... They don't have any photos of her mini in that. Which usually means we don't have a mini. Yet. Like, not even like production model. So it's most of the other characters are like picture of the mini, and then the stat block, and then the ones that are missing minis either don't have photos at all, or if they're important enough characters, they just have like still from the film, which are Arwen, some of the evil characters, I believe. And others. Oh, I think Galadriel and Celeborn didn't have models back then. Right. I need gunmetal for sword. Main colour we need red. Dragonfire red for jacket. Now, I had a quick look last night to try and work out how to do them. Thinking, right, what colour are their trousers? Martin Freeman wears like sort of tanned trousers, and then Ian Holm has like very black, like so dark brown that they're basically black. So my plan is to basically paint his trousers black, rather than do the leather, paint them black and then use the brown wash, essentially the same way that we did Aragorn's hair. Because that works. Right. Where is... What was the other thing I needed?
That fate them
I don't know.
stony mountains cold.
Oh, I need a grey primer actually to mix that for Ian Holm's hair. And then I need a... Hang on. Again. Might help if I can spell his fucking name right. Martin Freeman Bilbo. And then we'll also open up another tab for Ian. It's such a shame he's gone. I liked Ian Holm. Haven't they also done a CG thing with Ian Holm in the new Alien film? I seem to recall hearing about that. I hope not, because I fucking hate it when they do that. If an actor's dead, let him be dead. I'd much rather they just recast. I just recast the character. You don't need... Ah, here we go. Here's a good look at Martin Freeman. It's not exactly red, is it? It's more... It's more hot pink. But that might just be the light. Yeah, it is more... Yeah, it's just light in it. It's... Yeah, it is more red. Best thing about that trilogy, by the way. As soon as they announced the casting for the Hobbit trilogy, and we're like, oh, Martin Freeman's playing Bilbo. I was like, that's fucking perfect. If Ian Holm can't come back for it, that's perfect. I like Martin Freeman. He's the reason why I got through the British Office. He's what got me through it, and I've loved him ever since. Because I don't like Ricky Gervais. Right. Easy thing first. Oh yeah. Meanwhile, Ian Holm. Oh yeah, he's got like a green waistcoat. That's easy enough. Ian Holm's jacket. It's not the same. I thought the idea was he's wearing the same jacket, but it's not. Because I don't want to do him with wait, hang on, if I jump back over to the mini. Because he's got red waistcoat, so that's been painted red. And then the jacket, I don't know. I'm in an R about giving him like a purple jacket. Because I think that would look nice. I don't know. I mean, I do have a darker red. I have plenty of reds. Yeah, I'll probably just do it in a different shade of red, but there's a lot of red on him. Because the waistcoat's red. His shirt that you can just about see under the waistcoat is white. Then a red waistcoat, black trousers, dark red coat. The book is red because it's the big red book. And then yeah, that's it. What about his pocket? His pocket says splashes. What's this curtain? It's nasty little pocket says. Oh, okay. So So it's essentially like, oh no, yeah. Why couldn't they just have him in the same jacket? I think it would be cooler if Martin Freeman was wearing the same jacket as Ian Holm in the Hobbit trilogy. I don't know. I always just assumed it was until I actually looked at the pictures next to each other. It's like, because normally there's like I have like a day in between. I normally watch the Hobbit one day and then Lord of the Rings the next day. When I actually do watch the Hobbit. I mean, there is. I'm one of the few people who don't hate the Hobbit films. Well. I hate the theatrical versions. But the extended edition did a lot for the for Battle of Five Armies. Like, a lot of my issues with the Battle of Five Armies theatrical version were fixed in the extended edition. Doesn't make it great. Yeah. But it's better than the it is certainly better than the theatrical version. Again, it's still not great, but it's better.
When spring is come to garth and field, and corn is in the blade.
Wait! Oh, bollocks, I fucked up. Okay. It's fine, we can paint over that. This is the one we want the waistcoat to be Dragonfire red. That's the thing. This, again, it's one of those models where, well, they're both ones of these models where, like all the other Hobbit models that we've painted, they're all primarily one colour. And then and then it's just picking out all the really tiny ass details. That's as in, like, Hobbit characters, not models from the Hobbit. We haven't actually painted any of those yet. The only other models that are in the Hobbit army book that we've done are Gandalf and Legolas. Not counting, like... Oh no, there are others, because all of the Rivendell models are reprinted in it. Yeah, like Arwen and Glorfindel and all the others. What time is it? Wow, we've been going for an hour and I've only just started painting. I was planning on being half done by now. Yeah, I'm not expecting this to take particularly long. Because the only reason why the Fellowship Hobbits stream took as long as it did was firstly because there's 4 of them, and also because they're all different. Like, they all have different colour schemes and this... Yeah, it's all the same colour, it's all red. I was just checking to make sure his collar wasn't a different colour. Hello, babe, how are you? We've just started painting because just as I was starting, I got a notification from Warhammer community saying that they've announced what's in the new starter box that's coming out for Christmas. The new Rohan film. So I've been looking and talking about that for the last like half an hour, and also just working out the colours. But, you know, 10 minutes, give or take, and that's the first coat on Bilbo's jacket done. Putting the film in the box. No! As in, like, the new starter box that's coming out with the new edition to tie into the new film. Which is a bunch of Rohan, is what I expected it to be. Bunch of Rohan stuff, bunch of Dunland stuff, and some new characters for both, with characters from the film. I do really like this red. Bet you're excited about that. Oh yeah, it's got Rohan shit. Yeah, me, babe. My main army's Rohan. The two armies I have the most models for. Actually, no, yeah, Rohan is the one I have the most for, I think. Technically. But actually, technically, the army I have the most models for is Mordor. I think I'm actually not sure if I have. No, I'm pretty sure I have more Rohan models than I do Minas Tirith. I don't know, because I have characters that go in both, obviously. Because I mean, technically, Gandalf the White is under Minas Tirith. But then there's like and Aragorn, Legolas and Gimli are in neither. Though Aragorn technically is in Boromir. So I guess it's Minas Tirith, but I have more like Rohan specific characters than I do Minas Tirith. I think. I don't know. I'll have to go back over it. Because I technically don't have the models that are for Aragorn and Boromir that are like the Minas Tirith versions of them. But yeah, I have them. I have Aragorn and Boromir, so it's just like, well, I'm just gonna proxy it because it's still Aragorn and Boromir until I can actually get those models. Because I do like those models. Mostly. I'm mixed on the mounted version of Aragorn as LSR. Right. Again, I know you guys can't see, but I just need to be able to actually see what I'm doing properly without the shadow of the phone. And even then, you guys can see what I'm doing on the webcam, just about. I'm just getting the bits underneath his arms where the shadows are, just so I can actually see them properly. And I just need to get the bottom of his coat.
Deep roots are not reached by the frost. From the ashes a fire shall be woken, alive
It's just a shame I can't use the actual Lord of the Rings soundtracks on these streams. Hydrate, I will have that in just a moment. Babe, thank you. But yeah, I'll get the... I still have the page open, so I can get that back open when we wait for them to dry. There is a little bit there, that corner. I mean, it kind of does work. I don't know how well you guys can see it. But there's a bit of issue with the moulding there, which I wasn't able to sort. I mean, it kind of works in terms of like the way his coat is, but yeah, annoying. Right, and now while the Dragonfire Red is still fresh on the palette, we'll just do Ian Holm's waistcoat. Because yeah, his jacket's going to be a darker red. But he wears a red waistcoat as well as a red jacket because he's a dick. There we go. And until we need it again for inevitable cleanup, that is Dragonfire Red finished with. Right. Shall we do... while we wait for the waistcoat to dry, we can't really do Bilbo's trowel. We can't really do Martin Freeman's. I just gotta call them Ian and Martin. Martin. But yes. I mean, I could do the hair. Oh yeah, the other thing that we need Dragonfire Red for is the book that Ian Holm's carrying. Yeah, we need the red on Ian's book, but we can't do that really until we've done his jacket. But yeah. We may as well do Ian's jacket then. Right, I need a darker red, which I should have. No, they're all pink. They're all pinky reds because they're all like for the monster ones. They're all like succubus red maybe. Again, it's a bit pinky. Or do I want him to have a purple jacket? Again. Part of me kind of likes the idea of him being in a purple jacket, but he doesn't wear a purple jacket.
I'm at home with the girls and they're both running a fever.
Fuck off, I don't care. Kick him down the stairs, that will fix that fever. Does that mean? That felt mean. That's a possibility. I mean, I can always make one. I can always just add a bit of something to that one, like brown or something. Close your bastard. See, this is why I need to stop working out on the boxes, because the boxes are starting to fall apart. I'll try it. Need to really mix this one because I haven't used this since I painted up my Strahd model. That was a while ago. I need one of those little, like, electric pot shakers. That's another thing I need for this little makeshift paint studio I'm making. Still not properly mixed. But yeah, my goal is to be all finished with these by 8 o'clock. It's 6:10 now, which gives us another hour and 7 minutes. Because I need to do some D&D stuff around 9 o'clock and I need to have some food before that. That might work, to be fair. Again. We'll give it a go. I'm essentially approaching it as like, because I know it isn't. I've already said it isn't, but it fucking should have been. I'm essentially approaching it as being like an older version of Martin's coat, which is just, you know, aged and repaired. But obviously it's got a different collar and everything, so it's clearly not. I do enjoy painting the metal minis. Just because, oh, they're just so nice. Mostly. I'm not gonna lie, I've had some bad experiences with some of the metal minis that I own. Just putting them together. Looking at you, Wild Wug Chieftain. You fucking dick. Also the metal Ringbearer riders. Though to be fair, my problems with all of those weren't the actual models, they were the bases that they came with. Because they didn't come with the holes for the pegs on the bases, so I had to improvise. Which basically involved cutting through the feet on them and tactical rocking them. Not by choice, but just to actually have something solid that they're stood on. Because they're so bloody, like, 1 point heavy. Especially those metal ring wraiths. Where it's like, they're galloping on some of them. So it's like, they're so fucking heavy minis, and there's one tiny ass little point of contact. Unless you peg it. Yeah. Just gonna let that hang in the air. That's the actual term, it's not me being rude. But this model is lovely. This is a really lovely little model. The Bilbo, the Martin Freeman Bilbo, mixed on it, but that's mainly just because I don't like the ones where it's just they're all one piece and everything, because you can't have as much detail, and it's kind of clear, it's kind of obvious that that was one of those ones that they did as like a budget. I mean, it was done for a board game, I believe. But it's essentially either you do it with that one or you have a Finecast model. And I'll tell you one thing, I didn't understand the hate for Finecast models, and then I started working with them, and it's like, oh no, that weren't just the ring wraiths, because you know the only I believe the only Finecast models I painted up on stream so far are the ring wraiths, where it's like, well, they don't really need much detail on them anyway. But I have painted up some other Finecast models off stream. I was like, oh, now I understand the hate.
Unless it's price. Get 50% off pizza Friday to Sunday.
He's not Finecast, he's just hard plastic. There we go. That actually kind of works. I mean, it is a definite different shade. It's definitely darker. I like it. I like that. That works. Whoops. He says, and then slams his thumb into him. And then the collar we will do... Wow, I'll get the image back up. And I'll work out what to do about his collar.
Where is the helm and the harbour and the bright hair?
I tell you what, I am really looking forward to having being finished with the Fellowship of the Ring model streams, of which I'm predicting there to be 3, possibly 5. It depends on whether or not I do the Watcher and the Balrog on stream. Because those will have their own individual streams. And also it depends how long they fucking take. They might take like 3 streams each. Especially the Balrog. Actually, I imagine my reckoning is the Watcher and the Water will take a lot longer than the Balrog. That's the other Finecast model I've got. Yeah. Like, in terms of like, that'll be the first Finecast model I do on stream. It will be the Balrog, aside from the ring race. Yeah, it's a cool mini, but it's... God, I wish it was made of metal. Or plastic, actually. I'd rather it be made of plastic, to be perfectly honest. Although I do remember those old metal Watcher... Actually, was the Watcher in the Water ever metal? The Balrog was, because it came in the Khazad-dûm set. I remember that. I remember that, because in my local Games Workshop, they had, like... When Shadow and Flame came out, they had, like, a little Khazad-dûm board set up with the Balrog and all the dwarves and all the goblin heroes that they did for it. And I remember picking up that Balrog, maybe, like, 13, 14 at the time, picking it up, being like, oh, that's cool. Pick it up. That's a fucking paperweight. Jesus. If someone breaks into your house, you don't need a fucking gun or anything like that. You just need one of those classic metal Balrogs. Just kill their fucking skull in that. That and the old metal tree beard. I'm not gonna lie, kind of want to get that old metal tree beard. I found one on eBay this morning. I was like, ooh, tempting. Mighty tempting. Because I don't have a tree beard yet. He's one of the few Two Towers heroes I need. I need him, a few more for Rohan and Harma and a few of the like just generic Rohan ones. And technically Arkenbrand, but I can't get Arkenbrand. I haven't even been able to find Arkenbrand on eBay. So my plan is basically just to proxy him for Helm's Deep. What am I looking for? Right, what's the next job? I mean, we could do Martin's waistcoat next. Or like, you know, 2 inch, well, not even 2 inches. 2 millimeters of his waistcoat that's actually visible under his scarf. What colour is his scarf by chance? Is it the same? Nope. Alright, so green waistcoat, yellow scarf. That's doable. That's very, very, very doable. That is. Yeah, that's the sort of colour that we want. Because also got to remember that the shade will darken it as well. So it's always better to go slightly lighter than we actually want. Because then when we apply the shade, it will get darkened and then it's less work to do during the highlights. Brain power! I have a tiny little bit.
Here we come with a boom. Here we come at last.
Actually, I'm going to start off. I'm going to break out the extra fine brush for this. I'm going to use the tiny brush. Actually, that brush head might be the same size. It's a little bit smaller than it. That should be small enough. Again, if we get some on his scarf, it doesn't really matter though. But we want to avoid the jacket. Also, with these minis, it's really fucking difficult. Because of just the sheer lack of detail on them, it's really fucking difficult to tell where his scarf is and what's on the left side, what's scarf and what's waistcoat. And also where his shirt is, like where his waistcoat ends. There's a little bit of cleanup needs to be due on his coat, but I mean, to be fair, it could do with another layer anyway. But that's later jobs. That's Peter in an hour's problem. I just want to get the colours on him. See? He's already coming together. And now that it's a bit drier, that is pretty spot on to what I was kind of thinking for him. To be fair, that shade of red has actually really worked. He looks a little bit like Santa with the white collar and everything. He won't do for much longer because that collar is going to get painted a different colour. What that colour is, I don't know.
The road goes ever on and on.
Right.
Down from the door where it began. Now far ahead the road has gone.
Just
and
going to
I must follow if
do the
I
book.
can. Pursuing it with
Before the
eager feet
red dries out.
until it joins some larger way where many paths and errands meet, and whither then I cannot say.
Sorry.
Roads go ever on, over rock and under tree, by caves where never sun has shone, by streams that never find the sea, over snow.
How they did. I know I have this around every single time this song comes on during one of these streams. How the fuck they did three films based on The Hobbit, and they didn't call a single one There and Back Again. Still fucking baffles me. Like I know the original name, the original plan back when it was supposed to be 2 films, which it fucking should have been, is the plan was essentially Unexpected Journey, or whatever that would have been called. I think it would have still been called An Unexpected Journey. I don't know. I don't remember. And then the second film was going to be There and Back Again. Because you can't really do what part of me thinks they should have done, because this wouldn't work with marketing, which is call the first one There and then the second one Back and Back Again. Because for those who don't know, the original plan for the Hobbit films, when it was going to be just 2 films, was essentially the first film would cover up through to the Misty Mountains. It'd be essentially what An Unexpected Journey ended up being. And then this. So it would end with Bilbo meeting Gollum and finding the ring and everything. That would have been. That still would have been the first film. And then the second film would have been essentially the rest of the book. So from Beorn's through to the end, which, you know, is the correct way to do it. Because you don't need 3 films to do The Hobbit.
Loving Voxy Mobile's unlimited social
You
media.
know.
I'm well into these backpacking videos.
New Line and Warner Brothers wanted money.
That's a good one. Can I do yours?
No chance. The fun never ends with unlimited social media on Voxy Mobile. Selected social apps in UK. TNCs apply.
Well, I think the original plan for it, which was what Guillermo del Toro was going to do, was going to be, I think it was only going to be 1 film.
fountains shall come to his own.
Although,
His crown shall be upholding.
originally, the original plan for the Lord of the Rings trilogy, back when Peter Jackson and the rest of them were pitching it, was they were going to do like
Shall run in gladness, the lake shall shine.
the original idea they had was to do 3 films, but do essentially The Hobbit as 1 film, and then do The Lord of the Rings as 2. And then Harvey Weinstein, when they pitched it to him, was like, nah, we don't want to do that. We don't want to dedicate it to 3 films. And they were like, okay, well, we'll just do the 2 Lord of the Rings films. And they were like, nope, all the Lord of the Rings, 1 film. And it's like, nope, can't fucking do that. Imagine that. Imagine if they actually ended up doing it like that. All of the Lord of the Rings in the span of 1 90-minute film. How the fuck would that would have worked? But yeah, so they just went, yeah, nah, that's impossible. That will kill us, and everybody will hate it. But the problem was, back then, fantasy just wasn't a popular genre. Like, because that would have been before Harry Potter came out. Because it was Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings that basically reinvigorated the fantasy genre. Because before then, it's like fantasy stuff was like either just cheaply made schlock, or it was like passion projects that made the studios absolutely diddly dick for money. I tell you what, it's really nice painting a model that doesn't have any leather bits on him. Like, I'm not getting out that leather brown for the first time. I genuinely cannot remember the last time I painted a mini that didn't have leather bits on them. Possibly, no, Arwen had some. Oh, it'd probably actually be Goldberry then. I think Goldberry was the last. Hang on, I just need to be able to actually see without the shadow, so I don't. There we go. Yeah, I think it would have been Goldberry. I haven't painted one off stream with them. No. Because since the main ones I do for now, until I actually start painting my Warhammer models, the main stuff I do in terms of painting, even when I start doing Warhammer, is Lord of the Rings and the occasional D&D mini. So it's like, No, just doing high fantasy stuff. It's like, even then, like, my main interest when it comes to Warhammer stuff is Age of Sigmar. Because Skaven aren't in Warhammer 40k. They should be. Every game needs the rat, people. For some reason I can relate to the Skaven, I don't know why. Yeah. He's basically done! Again, small little model, takes all of like 5 minutes to paint. There is a fair bit of cleanup needed to do on his jacket though. And to be fair, his jacket could do with another coat, but... And we also need to do the inside of his jacket anyhow. But aside from that, it's just his skin and his face. Oh, and I need to go in with a white on the pages of the book. Once that's dry. I don't think there's any black on Martin. No. Right. I need a light brown for Martin's trousers. And then, I mean, he wears multiple different scarves actually, but the main one, which is what I'm basing it off of, which is a bit of artwork of him from, well, it's from Divinarm, but it's based off of a production, like, character poster that they had. I believe this is a character poster they did for Desolation of Smaug. I'm basing it off of this. So, because it's the only one that's like a proper full body shot of him. Yeah. Right. Brown. And I have the perfect one. I don't remember what I last used this brown for. I have used this brown on stream. But I don't remember what it was for. Shake, 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 shake it. Oh, I know what I used you on. You were on, yeah, it's the brown I used for Build a Pony's hair. That's right. Yeah, Build a Pony's hair and the bread on Ballerman. And then probably some stuff on others, like...
I saw the light fade from the sky.
I mean... The weird thing about me is the main thing I hate in terms of painting is horses. I hate painting horses, but my main army with Lord of the Rings is Rohan. So it's like, oh, damn it, why do I like Rohan? Why are like 90% of my favourite characters who aren't Fellowship members Rohan? I mean, my favourite non-Fellowship character is either... it's between three. It's either... I'm talking strictly Lord of the Rings here, because my favourite character in all of literature... but the... but if we're talking like characters who are only in Lord of the Rings, who aren't members of the Fellowship, it's either Theoden, Falamir, or Farmer Maggot. I read all that during my Farmer Maggot stream. and I will go into it all again when we eventually get round to doing Theoden and Faramir. I was kind of tempted to do the Theoden stream when Bernard Hill died, but I just didn't have like a day that really worked in terms of the schedule then. Also, I think at that point, I think then I was still suffering from my back, so I couldn't stream.
But I don't regret, nor will I forget who took that road with me.
I tell you what, it is good. Like, now that the cast from Lord of the Rings, I mean, I know we'd already lost a few, but I just gonna say, what I'm gonna say, I don't want Ian McKellen to die. It was hard enough losing Christopher Lee. I don't want to lose Ian McKellen. Because Ian McKellen was like the actor of my childhood. He was in fucking everything I loved as a kid in terms of like films. Like, the only thing I can really think of that was like a key cornerstone of my childhood that he wasn't in was Doctor Who, because he wasn't in it until I was older. And the Spider-Man films. But between like X-Men and Lord of the Rings, it's like he's just there. He was always just there in my childhood. It's like, yay, Gandalf. Obviously, as a kid, I didn't quite put together that Ian McKellen, that Magneto and Gandalf were the same people. Well, the same person. And it's like, oh. And then when I got older, and it was like, I realized like, oh, actors are like actual people. Like, that's how that works. And I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. I see the, yeah, I hear it in the voice now. It's like, you know, I just don't want it to be a thing. I'm fucking dreading the day I wake up in the morning and I go onto social media and I see the post, like, the picture of Ian McKellen and like the news article that says it, and it's like, no. Like, every single time I open up social media and I see a post about Ian McKellen, my heart stops. It's like, no. It's the same with Patrick Stewart. Like, they're both at that point now where it's like, stay out of the news, don't do anything. Yeah, the trousers are going to need another coat. But a shade wash on that will make it the sort of colour I'm after. Right, I guess we may as well do the skin now. Because then that'll be outside of his collar. Let me just get up the picture of Ian Holm again. It's like a dark green. Yeah, it's a I mean, you know, we lost. We lost James L. Jones earlier this week. Was that earlier this week or was that last week? I don't remember. I don't remember when it was exactly, but that was fucking devastating. Because he was another one. Like, between Star Wars and Lion King, it's like, oh, yeah.
Was blade and bound was hilt.
The delver mined, the mason built. The peril and noble tale and battle wrought like fishes veil.
Maybe what I'll do, because I don't really have, I can't really organise when I'm going to do the Hobbit models. Because my general plan is basically when I run out of models that I need for the campaign. Because for those who don't know, I'm going through a narrative campaign with my girlfriend, based off, which is in the books up there, based off of Lord of the Rings, the films, and with elements from the books. And essentially I'm going through and painting the models as in the order that they turn up, with one exception, which was I got the Fellowship done first. Like, the Hobbits for the Fellowship were either the second or third, no, first or second one we did. All these are up on the YouTube, by the way. And then we did the and then we did Farm Maggot and the Ringwraith, so we could get those scenarios done. And then I did all the members of the Fellowship and then moved on. Mainly because I did Aragorn alongside Legolas and Gimli, because 3 hunters. And then I was like, well, that only leaves Boromir and Gandalf for the Fellowship, so may as well just get them done and have a completed Fellowship. And then we did yeah, we're now, in terms of those streams, getting into the Moria stuff, with the next one being Wild Wag Chieftain and the Cave Troll, with the Wild Wag Chieftain just covering how I do wargs, because I ain't painting 18 wargs on stream. I'm not just sitting here and painting wargs for 7 hours on stream. For those, I need to firstly space them out. I need to actually get on painting them. They've been sat on my on my current painting table for quite some time. But I've got my goblins painted up. I have goblin commanders now, so I might actually throw goblin commander in with the cave troll and the Wild Wag Chieftain, but I need to get some primer on my goblin commanders. Unfortunately, the weather now has turned. That fucking works, by the way. Holy shit, that works. I like that. Yes, I know he's just like all red, but I like him. It's such a nice mini for such an old model. It's so nice. Again, this model predates most of my collection, as far as I'm aware. Like I said, I'm pretty sure this was one of the first minis they did for the Middle-earth strategy battle game. It's so nice. I really like it. It's so nice. It's just nice to have a Lily at home. Like, this is the thing, like, with metal, the metal minis, like, they look like the actors. Because, like, I mean, you can kind of tell it's supposed to be Martin Freeman, but, like, the only exception to that, when I say that, is, like, the metal Sam. None of the Sam models particularly look like Sean Astin. I'm gonna be honest. A lot of the Sam models do kind of look like he's been stung by a bee. And the Frodo model, you can look at it and see Elijah Wood in it, but it's not quite there. But all the others, it's like the Aragorns, the metal Aragorns. Fuck, they look like Viggo Mortensen. Especially that new one, that new Free Hunters plastic box. That Aragorn looks really good. The Gimli looks cool. I'm not overly fond of the Legolas, which is why I don't own it. That, and also I already own an Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli. I don't need another set. Yeah, I do. I have 3. My goal is to kind of own all the Aragorns. Because I like Aragorn. Aragorn was my favourite when I was a child. It was Aragorn and Gandalf were my favourites. Nowadays, my favourite character in The Lord of the Rings is Sam. Again, if we're not counting Bilbo, because again, Bilbo is my favourite character in all of media. God, I hate the fact that the bots have gotten smart and are using those weird fucking symbols on their fucking scam links. Go away. Yeah, I will eventually paint all of Thorin's company on stream. Part of me's thinking maybe doing them every Hobbit day. I don't know. Or just when I feel like it, to be honest. Because again, we're not touching the Hobbit in terms of the narrative campaign. They haven't done a narrative campaign for the Hobbit. As far as I'm aware. I know they did a narrative book for Unexpected Journey in Desolation or Smaug. I don't know if they ever did one for 5 Armies. I assume they did. I just haven't been able to find a PDF of it. Like the old... Okay, I keep pointing up there like you can see the books, but they're just out of camera shot. The old Journey books. Right. That was dice out the way. Like these. I know they did, when they moved from Lord of the Rings SPG to the Hobbit SPG, when those films were going on, I know they did essentially campaign book for Unexpected Journey, and they did an Unexpected Journey starter box, they did a Desolation of Smaug starter box. In fact, this Bilbo, the Martin Freeman Bilbo painting, actually came from that starter box. Because it was Goblin Town. But I don't know. I don't think they ever did a starter box for 5 Armies. And I don't know if they ever did a a journey book such, like a narrative campaign spanning all 3 films. They haven't done for the new edition. I'm hoping that like the first campaign book that they do for this new edition that's coming out is a Hobbit one, because all of the books up there will be backwards compatible because they're not changing the rules all that much. They're basically simplifying it by scrapping some of the rules that are constantly forgotten, and the only other major rule change that I see them doing is they're changing the way list building works. So it's just, rather than armies, you have the legendary legions. I see. And then they're scrapping some profiles and moving them into legends, essentially. But yeah, I'm trying to but yeah, like, I'm hoping they do a Hobbit narrative campaign, because the closest thing we've got is we have the Fall of the Necromancer, which covers all of the Dol Guldur shit. And they did essentially a little campaign version of the Battle of the Five Armies in Defense of the North. But also that way you get more of the Hobbit models out of being fine cast and into being proper plastic, because so many of the Hobbit models are fine cast. But if they do like, a new book and you call it There and Back Again, I think that might have been it. I think they might have done like a combined book and called it There and Back Again. Back in the day. That rings a bell. I do remember seeing a book called the Hobbit SPG There and Back Again. But I might be wrong. What am I doing? His trousers definitely need another coat. Right, let's do Martin's scarf. Which needs to be this sort of colour. Because it's not yellow, it's basically it's the lighter shade of his trousers.
It left the world and took its flight over the wide seas of the night. The moon set sail upon the gale, and stars were fanned to leaping light under the mountain, dark and tall. The king has come unto his hall. His foe is dead, the worm of dread, and ever so his foe shall fall.
Again, it's really difficult with this sort of material to tell what's scarf and what's waistcoat.
sharp, the spear is long, the arrow swift, the gate is strong, the heart is bold, that looks on gold, the dwarfs no more shall suffer wrong, the dwarfs of yore made mighty spells, while hammers fell.
There we go.
Like ringing bells in places deep, where dark things sleep.
Yeah,
In hollow
I think that kind of works.
beneath the fells, on silver necklaces they strung, the light of stars on crowns they hung, the dragon fire from twisted heart, a melody of hearts they run, the mountain throne
Yeah.
once more is freed. Oh, wandering folk, the summons heed. Come haste, come haste.
Need to actually cut that. Oh, I don't have any scissors in here though. It's fine. We can work with it. Right. Lighter green again. It's gone all funky. Just for Ian Holmes' like little neckerchief thing that he wears. I miss a little bit of his cuff.
Farewell we call to hearth and hall. The wind may blow and rain may fall. We must away ere break of day, far over wood and mountain tall. us dread. Beneath the sky
Right.
shall be our bed.
I really like it. It looks so good. I'm so happy with it. Yay. Martin. Right. So, only bits that are left now is the skin. His trousers need another coat. There's a little bit of tidy up to do on his jacket, and then obviously Sting needs doing, and the hair. But I think we can now move on to the hair and the skin, and then we do the hair last. Well, not last, but we do the hair after the skin, because obviously we need the skin to be dry so we can do the hair on the feet. So if we do the feet first, then the face, then the hands, and then we do their which by that point, hopefully, and then if we do another cover of Martin Freeman's trousers, and then hopefully by then the paint on the feet will be dry enough for us to do the little patches of hair on their feet. That's my plan. And then we do any other little tidy ups that need doing, and then we'll do the washes, and then I'll go have food. Also, my music has stopped, but that's okay. I can fix that. Let's just repeat the music. No, I want the playlist. Ah, there it is. There's the shuffle button. And loop, please. Because it didn't do that. I forgot to tell it to do that. Right. Skin.
The king beneath the mountains.
Essentially, in order to make
Shall come.
Ian Holm a bit older looking,
Shall be upholding.
because
His heart shall be re-strong.
even though he's not supposed to have aged a day,
Golden.
he has.
Songs of yore
After all,
shall be sung.
he's old.
The wood shall wave on
He
mountains.
may not look it,
Grass beneath the
but he feels it.
sun. Wealth shall flow in fountains.
Like water, like
Golden.
butter stretched over.
Streams shall
He
run
fingers
in gladness.
thin, like
Birds shall shine and burn.
butter spread over too much bread.
Fail in sadness. Let the mountain kings return.
I fucking love that quote. that's just me. That's just me in the morning on a Friday. It's like, yeah, fucking feel that, bud. Also, if you guys are wondering why this base isn't completely black, essentially I had, after priming Ian, I had to rebase him. Because when I based him, I made the mistake of slicing some XPS foam while he was sat drying, while I was and And essentially what happened was the bits of the XPS went onto the base, activated with the primer that was on it, like the wet primer, and essentially melted into the base. So it was like, oh no, that is ruined. Like there was a horrible like ring of just gunk and shit. Thankfully none of it went on him and ruined the Mini, because I would have been fucking heartbroken if that had been the case. So I basically through use of clippers and hobby knife essentially cut him off the base and glued him onto one of my spare bases. That I just have. Because very often I'll just buy a bag of just 25 bases just so that way I have backups for should I need to. Because sometimes you get the bases like this where it's got like the section, especially when they're made of, especially when they're metal minis with the metal base slots. Sometimes they just don't fit.
Shall come into his own. His crown shall be upholden. His harp shall be restrung. His hall shall echo golden to songs of yore resung. The wood shall wave on mountains, grass beneath the sun.
If we get... This isn't speed paint, thankfully, so we don't have to be overly careful. If we get someone... If we get someone the wrong part, we can easily just paint over. I will say, that speed paint stuff... All my speed paint stuff, all my speed paints are actually there. They're actually already in a paint rack. They are quite nice. I will give them that. Specifically the new speed paints that they've done. Speed paint 2.0 stuff is quite nice. I just need to get used to using it, really. Because as you guys well know, I have kind of just a fucking get the paint on it attitude when it comes to base coating. Especially when I'm doing a lot of models.
Loads of these. But actually tasty.
Like when I'm batch painting like the regular troops, I am not nearly this careful.
Only with a smart meter.
As my Moran and Orcs and Rohirrim can testify to. But I take my time when it comes to the heroes. And also when it comes to the like I much prefer painting the heroes than I do batch painting. I fucking hate batch painting. The only thing I hate more than batch painting is painting horses. There we go. Again, another layer on the trousers and the coat, but yeah. Right, same job. Essentially what I will do is when it comes time to doing the highlights, which I don't do on stream, I'll do a lot more involved on, like, that's when I will essentially age Ian Holm up. That, and also when we come to do the hair. So my plan is to use the Bilbo hair and then like same colour and then mix a bit of grey in for Ian Holm. Also, we have new minis that are already available for Middle-earth strategy board game. None of which I really plan on doing on stream anytime soon, because none of them are particularly high on my priority list, although there are some that are really fucking nice. I do want to get that Kings of Men set. Just the generic Kings and Men. I am very tempted by that. So I might get the Kings and Men set, and I want to get the Lords of the Dunedain set. And I'll probably get some Dunedain as well. While they're, I assume they're just gonna stay on there. Like, they're not gonna disappear again. Now they brought them back, because it doesn't say like available for a limited time. I didn't pick up any of the made to orders this time around, so I was kind of tempted to get a Heroes of the West, but the only ones I would really be buying that for would have been the Aragorn, because again, it's a way of getting that particular Aragorn. And the Armoured Faramir, but the Armoured Faramir I can get, at least a different version of, and it doesn't come with him on his horse, and I don't really like any of the others in that set. Like, I'm not overly fond of the old metal Gandalf the White. Like, compared to the modern plastic Gandalf the White, I much prefer that. But then again, I haven't looked at every Gandalf the White model that they've ever done. But from the metal ones I've seen of Gandalf the White, I don't really like any of them. I don't know. At least compared to Gandalf the Grey, there's much better Gandalf the Grey models than there are Gandalf the White.
Unlimited social media from Voxy Mobile is great. Seen that new sneaker drop? That's my autumn look suited.
There we go.
And what's the rest of you look?
This?
Oh, sick.
The fun never ends with unlimited social media on Vox.
My painting, I'm starting to hurt now. kind of want to do like a bit of gold in his hand. Oh yeah, I will go over the base again. Because he's alright. I do need to go over the sleeve again. How's it going? We're almost done. We're almost done. It's basically all that's left now is another, probably go over another coat on the skin. And then Martin's trousers need another coat. In fact, I'll do that while the skin dries. Because aside from that, the only parts that are left is Sting. I need to do some white on the pages of Ian's book. Because at the moment they're red. So I need to go over that with some white. And then it's basically just clean up and then shading. So yeah, we should finish by 8. Should be finished by 8 o'clock. 8:30 at the latest. Another half hour to an hour, I reckon. But I'll be finished by 9, which is what was my goal. Because my plan is to start doing session 0 for a new D&D campaign tomorrow around 9 o'clock. And then but I need to eat in between now and then. Obviously ring you. And then yeah. But yeah. I don't see it taking more than another hour or so. But yeah, while we wait for skin to dry. Hang on. Let me get back up the thing. Let me get back up the models. Let me get back up the new minis. Yes, that's right, we're going back. We're going back to looking at the new minis. Because the new minis are cool. It's a new release for Middle-earth strategy battle game. Want to point out, this year alone, we're having more releases for Middle-earth strategy battle game than we've had in the last 2 years. It's like, yes, we're eating good tonight, fellas. Yeah, we're getting this. I don't know. That was what I was expecting anyway. But I was wrong. To be fair, I'm going into that film as blind as possible. I haven't actually watched any of the trailers for it. So I don't need to. You don't need to sell me on it. You've sold me by the fact that it's Lord of the Rings. There's Lord of the Rings and anime. Sign me right the fuck up. You don't need to show me anything else. And also I want to go in as spoiler free as possible. Outside of, you know, what stuff is in the Soma. But yeah, my main hope for the new range is we get a Hobbit book. Like we get a Hobbit set. So that way we get some more Hobbit characters that aren't fucking fan cast. In proper plastic. And then we have that's hope number 1. And hope number 2, which will be specific for Roar of Rohan. Again, I don't know if these are in Roar of Rohan, but I want shield maidens. I want Rohan shield maidens. And then like an optional legendary legion for like shield maidens led by Eowyn. Is my hope. Because there is in the book, during the attack on Helm's Deep, Eowyn fights at Helm's Deep in the book. Because because obviously all the women and children are hiding in the caves, and the Uruk-hai find a hidden tunnel into the caves in the back. So Eowyn and a bunch of the women who are able to fight alongside Gimli in order to defend the caves, which was a bit I really wish they did in the film.
Was the way that fate them o'er stony mountains cold and grey,
through walls of iron and darkling gold.
Though I guess I don't know if they actually did film that, because she's in the Helm's Deep box. Like the metal Eowyn I have is essentially that, her fighting at Helm's Deep. Because it's Defenders of Helm's Deep. It's all the named heroes who are at Helm's Deep. Some of which I've painted. Some I have not. I've painted up the Legolas and the Gimli from that because they're just... I didn't really see much point in doing them on the stream because they're identical to the Legolas and the Gimli that I did on the stream before. The only difference is they're ones with their version of them with the Elven Cloak, and Legolas has armor on him. The Aragorn I'm debating whether or not to do on stream. I fucking love that Aragorn mini though. That Aragorn mini might be my favourite mini I own. I really like that Aragorn mini. The Theoden that's from that set is the one that I am painting up on stream because I've already painted my plastic Theoden. I'm going to also be doing the Haldir one because my plan is to basically do both versions of Haldir during that stream. So that'll be unarmored Haldir and from Fellowship when they meet him in Lothlorien, and then armored Haldir when he's at Helm's Deep and gets his fucking skull caved in. At least in the film version, because in the book, I don't think Haldir's actually a character in the book. I don't think he's in the book. I don't remember. I mean, he definitely doesn't fight at Helm's Deep. Because there aren't any elves at Helm's Deep. There we go. Martin Freeman Bilbo. Like, now that he's fully painted, you can see you can see it's Martin Freeman. It's like, yeah, that like looking at his face is like, oh yeah, I can see it now. It's again, it's like, you know, Ian Holm, been able to tell it's supposed to be Ian Holm the entire time. Just saying. It's a better model. Much better quality model. Right. Final job for
the beach and leaf, and sap is in the bow. When light is on.
Yes, it's a. I don't know if you're still in chat there, but that top I sent you this earlier, it's supposed to be a potato. Right, we now just need to do a dollop or another dollop of Bilbo Brown. Ooh, I'm running out of grey. Essentially, another reason why I've not done a proper like painting setup yet is I'm essentially trying to get through what's left in these bottles, like these little D&D paint bottles, and then so that way I can get rid of them. And then just essentially, because at the moment the only ones that I've really gone through are the ones I use on like every model. I'm on my third bottle of black. I'm on my second bottle of leather brown. I'm on my third bottle of gunmetal. Because those are just the colours that I want every model I paint. Again, it's just all the models I paint, at least for now, until I actually make a start on my 40k stuff, are all fantasy stuff. I do D&D and Lord of the Rings. Those are the main ones I paint, and the occasional Marvel and Star Wars mini. So 90% of them have a shit ton of leather on them. To be fair, the main reason why I've had to buy so much leather brown is because, again, my main army is Rohan. Whereas it's like, 90% of all those models are just leather brown.
Lies upon the world, and in a moon of gold, beneath the roof of sleeping leaves, the dreams of trees unfold. When woodland halls are green and cool, and wind is in the west, come back to Come back to me and say my last.
Okay, I just need to be able to see properly without the shadow of the camera.
With us, you get rewards.
Just so I can actually
earn 1 Q cash with Verbo.
see where his hair is. And then
When summer warms the hanging fruit and burns the berry brown, when straw is gold and here is white, and harvest comes to town, when honey spills
I really like him. I got a little bit on his back collar, but it's fine. Again, cleanup is always involved. Oh, I love him. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Bilbo.
Comes the winter wild, that hill and
We love Bilbo. Bilbo's the best. Bilbo's best character. Favourite character in all of literature. Second favourite. Second favourite is Sam. Ah, God. Problem is, for those who don't know, I had my wisdom teeth taken out last Friday. And the stitches are now finally dissolving, but the problem is, because of that, I keep swallowing them. Right. What is left? Sword, and then clean up and shading. And then we're done. Now, decision time. With Sting, do we paint it silver, or do we paint the blade silver, or do we paint the blade blue? That's an option. I'm thinking we just paint it silver. It's a tricky choice.
Together we will take the road that leads into the west.
Nah, we'll do it silver. Because I don't have a particularly nice blue... Yeah, the only blue metallic I've got... Actually... I kind of... The more I think about it, the more I think about it, the more I want to do it. So, the more I want to do it blue. We can roll a die and decide for that. Ah, this is fitting for like the finishing up. Because for those who don't know, this is a song that Bilbo sings on his way to the Grey Havens. Like as he's getting on the boat, he sings this. I listened to this a lot when the Home died. might be why they did this.
I hear the rising of the sea.
Ow! Yeah, I think he might have. I think Kalmavi actually might have put this out for Ewan Holmes' death. Like this version of it, anyway. I don't know. I don't know if I want the Blade of Sting to be blue or silver. I want it to be blue. I want it to be blue. Cause it's Sting! You gotta paint Sting blue, so that way you know it's Sting! Yeah, Sting is optional for Bilbo, so yeah. Oh, but then that knocks it into like, you get those dickheads who are like, oh, you have to do it WYSIWYG, so if it's blue, then you have to take him with Sting. But then again, I don't think I ever would not. Like, why would you not take Bilbo with Sting? It's like taking Frodo without Sting. Why the fuck would you? Granted, in all 4 scenarios that me and Rosie have played, she hasn't used Frodo with Sting because we haven't got to Rivendell yet, so he doesn't have it. I mean, one way or another.
I seek the west and fields and mountains.
Oh, I miss Ian Holm. Listen to this and painting this mini. It's like, oh, I miss him. This is sad, like. I know he was old, but like, there are so many dickheads in Hollywood. They're just dickhead celebrities. It's like, why can't one of them die? Like, not that I would ever actually wish death on anyone, but I'm sorry, if I had to choose between, like, having Ian Holm back but we lose Kevin Spacey, fucking hell, I'd rather have Ian Holm be alive than Kevin Spacey. In fact, there's a lot of celebrities who have died that I'd rather still be alive than Kevin Spacey, to be perfectly honest. It's just... Like, why did they take Alan Rickman and not Kevin Spacey? That's not a very fair trade, I'm sorry. Right, let's get my light blue. My fancy blue metallic. Which, have I used you I think I've used you on like elf armor. Yeah. Yeah, I've used you before. I don't remember what on. Might have been on. Oh no, I know what I used this on. It was doing my gnome wizard mini because he's like shooting lightning bolt, so I used it for the lightning. Actually, I've done that wrong. Oh wait, no, you can't see the handle. That's fine. I was gonna say, Sting's handle is red. Because I have it. If there's one sword I know all the details on, it's Sting. Because I have a replica of it. It's one of the few sword replicas I actually own. I have two swords, like replica swords. I have Sting, and I have Oblivion from Kingdom Hearts, because it's my favourite Keyblade. That, and also I got it for Roxas cosplay. Yeah, doing it blue is the right choice. Yeah, that's the right choice. That's definitely the right choice. I love it. So, again, it's a really nice mini. It's just the detail of the face. Like, it's the same issue I have with the current classic Fellowship. And all the other minis in that Forest Company box, to be honest. It's just the lack of detail in the face. Right, final job aside from cleanup is just adding some white to the pages on Ian Holm's book. So that way it's not just, you know, it doesn't look like the pages are red. Or grey, actually. We can do them either white or grey. Argument could be made for either. No, we'll do them white because when we put the shade on, it will darken it to grey. That's the idea. It'll darken it so it becomes like a lightish grey. Again, think in advance with the shading. Always paint colours that are slightly brighter from what you actually want. Because my original idea with the Ian Holm, I also need to get some new white. The Ian Holm jacket / waistcoat situation was I was going to paint them both with the same shade of red that we've used on the waistcoat and Martin's jacket, and then essentially get the difference with shades. I probably should have used the detail brush for this, to be perfectly honest. This is where it gets tricky. that works. And then we can't see the bottom because he's carrying it like that.
6 seconds are enough to tell you the new Oreo original now has even more cocoa.
So the bottom pages are, you know, in the jacket essentially. Fuck off. It's just go away. No, none of that nonsense. Yeah, I can go back over it with the red. I want to just pick out those little details on the book with the gold. Or do I do that after shading? I'll do it now because I'll inevitably ruin it otherwise. So I need gold. And I'll just have to pick it back out again once shading's done. A little bit. Eight o'clock. About half an hour left. Is my goal. You know what? I'm gonna break out. I'm gonna hunt out. There you are. Super detail. Brush with like a single hair on it. Right, again, not going to be able to do this because I need to properly look at
like ringing bells in places deep where dark things sleep in hollow halls beneath the fells for ancient king and elvish lord there many a gleaming golden hoard they shaped and wrought and light they caught to hide in gems on hilt of sword on silver net.
What's it supposed to look like? Okay, it's... yeah, okay, I'm wrong. Yeah, it's just that gold star. And then what looked like a lock thing is actually a bookmark. Yeah, so in actuality it's just that tiny little star at the top there. Because the other part, which is gold, which is his initials, again is at the bottom there, which is covered. So it looks like that. Not gonna lie, kinda wanna buy. But yeah, I'll fix all that. Right, final job then for the night is, as I've said many times, Bilbo's Trousers need another coat. And then it's cleanup. Yeah, this Artiyoga Brown is not the best in terms of coverage, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, doing it blue is definitely the right choice. That looks better. That looks much better. Yeah, just 2 coats. Just 2 nice, simple coats. That's all we needed. Not much cleanup work, to be fair. It's mainly just almost Martin's jacket. It's got a little bit cleanup to do, particularly on the bottom there where I hit a little bit with the trousers. And then a little bit of cleanup needed to do on the book, and the collar, and that's about it, to be fair. The only other thing I want to do... Actually, I'm going to do this during highlighting stage. This will be a post-shading stage, which is essentially going with the superfine detail and just doing some silver on the buttons on the 2 of them. But that'll be a highlighting stage, because I want them nice and shiny. I don't want them touched by the shade. Don't need them touched by the shade. But yeah, the only other... Yeah, it's literally just those tiny little... Do I want to put a speck of gold in his hand? I'll decide that later when during highlighting. But yeah, tiny little bit of tidy up on his trousers where I got it with the skin and his collar. But aside from that, I think we're good.
The forest sees a shrill and harsh.
Right. So we need some troll skin, and then we'll get on with the shading. Okay, it's just a little bit of tidy up right at the back there where I just hit a tiny bit at the top of his collar with the hair. go. Easy.
The dragon black and dark, they boulder song,
A little bit.
and flying smoke
A little bit on his. Oh, a little bit where I got him
It left
with the skin.
world and took its flight.
There we go.
The wide seas of the night.
The moon set sail upon the gale, and stars were fanned to leaping light.
Loving Voxy Mobile's unlimited social
Oh.
media. I'm well into these backpacking videos.
Really?
Fucking
That's a good
things.
one. Can I do yours?
No chance.
The fun never ends with unlimited social media on Voxy Mobile. Selected social apps in UK. TNCs apply.
My painting arm's starting to ache a little. Yeah. Oh, I just missed a little bit on his hair as well. Just a tiny bit.
The sword is shown, the spear is long.
There we go.
The arrow swings.
Aside from a tiny little bit on his trousers and shading and the book, he's done. And then what I would do is do the bits, the Dragonfire red that you're doing. What time is it now? 1:15. Okay. I mean, I can start the session 0 a little bit late. They're usually a bit late anyhow. I do like this brush as well. This brush was really cheap as well. This is just like a generic like model painting brush that I picked up in a local shop. Just like a pack of 5 of them and like a pack of 10 of them in various sizes for like £5. It's done quite well. I like it.
The mountain throne once more is freed. O wandering folk, the summons heed. Come haste, across the waste. The King of friend and kin has need. Now call we over the mountains cold. Come back unto the caverns old.
Damn it. There we go. Again, a little bit of tidy up needed to do on his trousers again because my hand slipped. But aside from that, he's done. Aside from that and the shading, Martin Freeman is done. Just a tiny little bit. This will actually, we want the detail brush a little smaller.
Farewell we call to hearth and hall. The wind may blow and rain may fall. We must away ere break of day, far over wood and mountain tall, to Rivendell, where elves yet dwell, blades beneath the misty fell, through moor and waste we ride in haste, and whither then we cannot tell. With foes ahead, behind us dread, beneath the sky shall be our bed, until at last our toil be past.
That's my black.
Our journey done, our errand sped.
What I will do is
We must away. We ride before the break
just to speed along because I'm quite hungry. I mean, to be fair, we didn't actually start painting until like an hour in. Because I got distracted looking at new minis.
New Pantene molecular bond repair with 5,000 Pro-V
So-
pearls. Shop now.
It's taken us about 2 hours and 20 minutes to get them base coated, and now we're just in tidy up phase. And there's just, and then we'll do shade, and then once all the tidy up is done, we do shading, and then that will be that.
The door where it began. Now far ahead the road has gone, and I must follow if I can. pursuing it with eager feet until it joins some larger way where many paths and
I like him.
meet together, then I cannot say. Roads go ever on over rock and under trees.
There's a tiny little bit on his fingers there.
Where never sun has shone, by streams that never find the sea, over snow, by winter sown, and through the merry flowers of June, over grass and over stone, and under mountains in the moon.
Yeah, it's just where I hit where I hit his hand when doing the pages of the book.
Under cloud and under star, yet feet that wandering have gone, turn at last to home.
I'm happy with him. I'm really happy with him.
And sword have seen, and horror in the halls of stone. Look at life.
Yeah, in terms of like actually painting, we've done them both in about an hour and a half, give or take. Because obviously I had to correlate for the fact that we didn't actually start painting until an hour into the stream. And dry time, everything. Plus, like, debating whether or not to paint Sting, the blade of Sting, silver or blue. I think blue was the right call. Now that it's actually on there, like, yeah, no, that was the correct answer. Did I miss some of the blade?
Goes ever on and on, out from the door where it began.
Yeah, the only job left aside from shading for tonight is just that little bit on his leg, which I accidentally hit while doing the cleanup on the jacket, just from a shake. But while we wait for that to dry, I will go grab another palette, just so that way I can, you know, because I'm running low on space, especially when it comes to shades. So I will go grab another palette, and then I'll start tidying away the paints. Because aside from just that, we're done.
It's time to switch to Garnier Micellar Water. An icon for an icon. It removes up to 100% of makeup and hydrates skin. UK's #1 micellar water. By Garnier. Naturally.
I need to tidy up in here. There's so much shit everywhere in this room. Right. Okay. So if we start packing away all the other paints, just so that's one less job I have to do at the end. Right. Skin.
We are off. To Isengard.
There's Skin lives over there. That's all the ones we used in that box. Because we're not using the shades in that box because they're all empty. I'll keep going fire red out for now. Because you never know. So yeah, it's just vampire garment. Fun fact, this song is how I actually discovered this YouTube channel. Because I re-listened to the old dramatized version of The Lord of the Rings, which, fun fact, has Ian Holm in it. One of the reasons why Ian Holm was cast as Bilbo in The Lord of the Rings was because he played Frodo in the BBC radio version. And he did a fucking good job in it. But yeah. And in that, they have a slightly different version of the Ants Mansion song. Essentially, I was looking for that, so just to listen to it, and I found this. And I was like, oh, it's different. It's not what I was looking for, but it's actually how it is in the book. It's kind of cool. I do kind of wish they had this in the film. I originally put the songs in the films. Yeah, there's a reason there's a Lord of the Rings musical. I don't know if that Lord of the Rings musical is any good. I've never listened to it or seen it. That's like the one aspect of like Lord of the Rings adaptations that I've never really touched.
Because when you save energy, you save money too. To the tills.
Saving energy, baby. This Beko Harvest Fresh Fridge Freezer uses
the fact that it's all one fucking piece makes it really difficult to fix.
Claim a guaranteed reward between £10 and £10,000 on selected.
Because there's no gap.
Curries beyond expectations.
Like, it's all one solid piece, and because of that, it makes it really fucking difficult to paint. Just the jacket without getting some red on the trousers, or vice versa. It's really annoying. This is why I hate these types of models. Grr, I say. Well, we'll get Ian Holm shaded. Anyway.
I saw the light fade from the sky.
Also, this song made me cry. When I went to see Battle of Five Armies in the cinema, and I heard this song for the first time during the credits, I cried. Because I felt like my childhood was ending. Because since I was a kid, I watched Lord of the Rings, and then I read The Hobbit, and then I read Lord of the Rings later down the line. And all through my childhood, I was just like, I wanted to do a film with The Hobbit. Like, have the guy who played Bilbo, bring back Ian McKellen, and then, because obviously I didn't know Ian Holm was Ian Holm back then. I was like, bring back Ian Holm, bring back Ian McKellen. Let's do The Hobbit. Hey, let's do it. 2 films, easy. I can argue we could, like, a version of The Hobbit that's one film could work. It could. It needs to be a long film, but you could do it. Very easily. It should have been 2. It should have been 2. It did need to be 3. It really didn't need to be 3. Because I remember watching it, because I went to see them all with my dad. Because he's who got me into Lord of the Rings originally. He's one of those people who, like, he reads Lord of the Rings every other year. Like, he used to read it every year. He's one of the people who was like, they should never do a film. They should never do a film. And when they announced the film, he was like, oh, they're gonna fuck it. They're gonna just mess it up completely. And as the cast are coming out, it's like, Sean Bean's playing Boromir. And he's like, well, crud. Because Sean Bean's his favourite actor and Boromir's his favourite character. So he was like, oh, now I have to watch it. But in his head, he's like, but he's only in the first one. He's only in the first one and possibly in the second one, depending on if they do his death at the end, at the beginning of the second one, like it is in the book. So, having him die at the end of the first film, that makes sense. That is, like... Yeah. It's like, he's like... The way writing works, he'll die at the end of the first one, so they have, like, a big climax for the first book. Because Fellowship of the Ring just ends. Like... The end of the Fellowship of the Ring is Frodo fucking off, and Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli are like watching him go. No, they don't. Yeah, Sam finds Frodo. They're rowing down the river, and they hear Boromir's horn, and that's the end of the book. And then Two Towers picks up with the Aragorn half first, with them finding Boromir pinned to the tree. Well, not pinned to the tree, but lying in the root of the tree. Because it's like they have their weapons drawn and everything, and it says like weapons are bloodied and stuff, if I remember correctly. So it's like they probably fought some orcs on their way to Boromir, but like the big action sequence that happens at the end of Fellowship of the Ring, that doesn't happen in the book. It's just while Merry and Pippin are looking for Frodo, they stumble into the Uruk-hai camp, and the Uruk-hais are just like, oh shit, they're the guys we're supposed to find. Like, we were told to find halflings. They're halflings! So these must be the halflings that we're looking for. Fucking come here, lads! And then Boromir charges in and, you know, gets Boromir. I shouldn't joke, I love Boromir. Yeah, Boromir is my dad's favourite character in Lord of the Rings. It's Boromir and Aragorn for my dad. But yeah, so he's like, me and him watched all of them. The only one that me and him didn't see at the cinema was Fellowship of the Ring, because I was too young. But we watched Two Towers and Return of the King at the cinema, and we watched the Hobbit trilogy at the cinema together. And, you know, like, Lord of the Rings had been a part of my life since I was like 10. Because that was when I first watched. No, not 10. Fellowship of the Ring came out when I was 6. Yeah, I watched Fellowship of the Ring when I was 7 years old. I read The Hobbit for the first time when I was 11. Yeah, because Return of the King came out, watched that, and I was like, right, I'm going to read the books. read The Hobbit, and then I tried reading Lord of the Rings, and I was like, no. And then when did I first read Lord of the Rings? I think the first time I read The Lord of the Rings I was 13, 14. Because I read it in secondary school. That sounds right.
Renewed shall be blade that was broken. The crownless again
Right.
shall be king.
So, brown wash or strong tone, and this will be used for hair and Ian Holmes trousers, basically across all of them. What other washes do I have? Do I have a red? I have a dark red. Yeah. Yeah. So, gonna use the brown wash on most of them, with the exception of Sting and Bilbo and Ian Holmes' jacket. Obviously, flesh wash on flesh. Actually, I'm gonna do flesh wash first. I'm going to do the flesh wash first because because that way, hopefully, the skin on the feet has time to dry. Right, if we start with the feet. We want to avoid the hair bits.
Seek for the sword that was broken. In Lattice it dwells. There shall be counsels taken.
I owe my dad so much in terms of the stuff that I'm into. It's like, just... The only nerdy shit that my dad didn't directly get me into was like video games, though he didn't help that. He didn't help me being into video games because he bought me my PS1, my PS2, my Game Boy, well, Game Boy Color specifically, and my... Did he buy me my PS3? I feel like he might have bought me my PS3. I'm pretty sure he bought me the Wii as well. Basically, those were Christmas presents. I think the only console my dad didn't buy me that I own is my Mega Drive, which was a hand-me-down from my cousin when he got his Nintendo 64. and my PS4, which I bought, and technically this PC, which again I bought. Oh, and they were, well, I mean, he didn't get me into Warhammer. If anything, he pushed me against being into Warhammer. Especially when I was a kid. Which obviously then led to me being into D&D. But again, I only got into Warhammer because they brought out the Middle-earth strategy battle game. I was like, oh, I want these little minis. I want these little minis of these characters that I like. Like, I didn't really care about Warhammer 40k when I was a kid. I only played it because that's what people played at my school. No one played the Middle-earth strategy battle game at that point. But I was like, but I want to. Because it's Lord of the Rings. I don't care about these Warhammer people. And I played Dawn of War and Fire Warrior, and I was like, oh, okay, now I care because I have some sort of way into like who these characters are, aside from just these mountains and mountains of books. Which is why the best thing to happen to Warhammer will be when it eventually does get a movie or TV show. Whenever this thing that they're doing, that Amazon are doing with it, if that's not been entirely cancelled, I don't know. Every other day I see that that's been cancelled, or it's still happening, or whatever. I don't even know if Games Workshop know what's going on with that anymore, if it's happening or not. Like that, when that eventually comes out, that will do so much for Warhammer. In terms of how many people will get into it. I mean, to be honest, to be fair, the best thing that's happened for Warhammer is COVID. it's one of the few, like, tabletop gaming is one of the few, like, business sort of things that was affected positively by COVID. Outside of, you know, not having shops open to, like, play with people in. But that's why Tabletop Simulator exists. Right. Actually, we'll do... You know what? This will definitely give it time. If we do all of Martin Freeman, and then we'll do... Well... basically just covering all of him in dark wash. Not dark wash. Brown wash. Strong tone. Whatever. I keep calling it brown wash because that's what my original strong tone was called. Because that's what it was called in the D&D box. With the exception of Sting. I don't know what shade I'm going to use for Sting.
Final boarding call for holidays this summer.
So this is why I don't do painting streams in the evening. I was kind of hoping to be finished by now and they're having food and getting ready to do Session 0 D&D, but they're almost done. They're almost done anyway. Again, fitting song for finishing up on the Bilbos. Honestly, the better adaptation. The only one that really comes close in terms of adaptations of The Hobbit is probably the radio play. If you folks haven't watched the animated Hobbit film, do it. It's so good. Who thinks of the world that is just make-believe? Never know passion, never know pain. Keeps by the window, will one day see rain. Don't judge me, I fucking love this film. It's so good. I don't know what streaming service it's on though. I think the entire thing's on YouTube. I know it used to be. I don't know if it still is. I don't know if that's been copyright bombed. Just copyright carpet bombed. It might. It's probably on Amazon Prime, to be fair. I'm sure you can buy a digital version on Amazon Prime. I mean, I'm sure for you American folks, it'll be on HBO or Max or whatever the fuck it's called nowadays. But we still don't have that, which is really bloody annoying, because I want to be able to subscribe to that. Mainly because Looney Tunes. Because the only HBO stuff that I subscribe for would be Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon, but House of the Dragon I can watch on Sky. And Game of Thrones I just have to put one of my Blu-rays in. Where would that be though? Then stream animated Hobbit. But yeah, the only other stuff that I subscribe to Max for is the Looney Tunes stuff and the DC stuff. Not the DCEU, because
the fun never ends with unlimited social media on Voxy Mobile. Selected social apps.
There we go. The Hobbit. It's on Crunchyroll. Oh no. No, it says similar stuff is on Crunchyroll. It's not available for streaming. At least not in the UK anyway. That sucks. Well, I guess I'm going on to Amazon and buying it on DVD. Unless there's a Blu-ray version. I hope there's a Blu-ray version. I'm sure there isn't. I am positive in saying there isn't a Blu-ray version. I know you can get like a triple pack of it with where it's the animated Hobbit, the animated Lord of the Rings, and the animated Return of the King. Because the animated Lord of the Rings film covers Fellowship through to Two Towers, and Ralph Bakshi did it. And Rankin Bass did The Hobbit and Return of the King. They are not connected. That's all. The character design is completely different. Also, Eowyn has 0 lines in the... Because the Ralph Bakshi Lord of the Rings, again, it covers Fellowship of the Ring and about half of Two Towers. It basically covers the Two Towers stuff that's in the Two Towers film. And the Two Towers segment of it is about half an hour long. There is 0 characterization for any of the characters who are... Like, Boromir is in that film for about 5 minutes, and then he dies. It's a 3-act film, as usual, as all films are. Act 1 is getting to Rivendell. Act 2 is Moria plus Armand Hen, essentially. And then Act 3 is all of Two Towers. If I remember correctly, the last scene with Frodo and Sam in it is going through the Dead Marshes with Gollum. That's it. And then and it ends at Helm's Deep. But I still really like that film. It's very flawed. It's a very flawed film. Again, it's a terrible adaptation of the Two Towers, but it's a pretty good adaptation of Fellowship of the Ring. And it at least gives us like a look at how, the original idea for Lord of the Rings being covered in 2 films would have looked. Which I would be interested to see, see the world where that happened, but I'd be much more interested in living in the world where Guillermo del Toro's The Hobbit happened. I keep bashing on the Hobbit films, but they're so easy to bash on. It's like just... And I'm one of the people who actually likes those films. Wow. I like 2 of them. 2.5. final job is the shading on Ian Holm. I did the shading on his dark red tone on his overcoat. And then the final part of the shading, because with any luck, doing it like this, and also this dark red will also be going on the book. I love Lord of the Rings. I can literally just sit here and talk about Lord of the Rings for hours. I have. Many times. But it's just... it's so good. Generally, the only reason why I haven't done any Lord of the Rings stuff on this channel outside of the painting stuff is just the concern for copyright, and I'm not overly fond of the... well, I like the... I like the Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War games fine. It's just...
get rewarded for using energy.
I prefer Shadow of Mordor to Shadow of War.
With a smart meter.
I got a bit bored with Shadow of War. And then the Balrog showed up and I was like, fuck, nope. That's where I draw the line. Like, I'm fine with Rings of Power changing stuff from, like, Silmarillion. But when you start telling me that Helm Hammerhand was one of the Ringwraiths, that's a big fat nope.
Mist and shadow, cloud and shade.
And Isildur as well. Like, you tell me Isildur's one of the 9, and it's like, that's literally impossible, because all 9 Nazgûl were active during the War of the Last Alliance. Isildur is not a Ringwraith. I'm really chuffed with them. The final job. Now that hopefully... well, there's 2 final parts that need shading. One is Sting. Which needs some dark tone. Well, the handle needs dark tone. The blade needs dark blue tone. I'm thinking. And then the only other part that needs doing is just the hair with, again, just the brown tone. just a bit of dark tone on the handle of Sting. And then some blue tone.
I'd like a bar of chocolate, please. It's for my mum.
God, I fucking hate that kid. That kid is so creepy.
At Pure Gym, get all the flex you need with no
I would put ad block on, but the problem is ad block. The ad block I have sometimes just breaks YouTube. Where it just won't play with ad block on. I don't know if anyone else has had that issue. Or if it's just a case of I just need to update my ad block. Don't know. But I refuse to pay for YouTube Premium. I have enough subscription services without adding fucking YouTube to that. Right, final job on them for tonight. Now that hopefully the skin shades have dried. This is hitting the little tufts on their feet. There we go. Oh, actually. That's the blue, isn't it? There we go. Just dark wash on the book. The pages, huh? Alrighty! And we're done. And we are done. So, for those of you watching on YouTube, when this goes up, well, final look at them before we go into the highlights and what's the, well, final look how they are before the shade's completely dry. So there's Martin Freeman. And Ian Holm. So, again, for those of you watching on YouTube, when this goes up, probably Friday, you guys will obviously now see the final results once I've been able to highlight and sort the bases out. So I'll probably do Tuesday. Probably do highlighting on Tuesday. And then if I don't do the bases then, I'll probably do the bases on Thursday, probably. But we'll find out. I'll go into that. No, but yeah, so obviously, if you guys are watching on Twitch, go subscribe on the YouTube, so you can see the final results, and obviously I'll post them on the Instagram and the Discord and everything once they are finished. Yeah. I hand you YouTube folks over to future me now. Okay, and hello YouTube. Right, so yes, they are now done. They are now done. It is, well, I did the stream painting these on Sunday, obviously Hobbit Day. Ow, my tongue just then. It is now Wednesday. I got them finished last night, and they're dry now. So I thought I'd just get this done quickly. Also, this will be the last time that I present it like this. I'm going to be getting a electric turntable over next week, basically. So it'll be here for when we do the Cave Troll and the Wild Wag Chieftain. But it won't be here in time for me to get this video done, like this recorded, edited, and up on the YouTube in time for it to go live over the weekend, because I'm not here this weekend. So I basically need to get this uploaded by Friday, so that just marks as, you know, scheduled on the YouTube. But yes, so let's get into it. So first of all, we got Martin Freeman. A little bit of highlighting on his face and his jacket and trousers, just to bring that back up. Did I miss some buttons on you? I think I missed his buttons on that side. Looks like. Yeah. I got the buttons on the waistcoat. I'm not sure if there's supposed to be buttons or not. I'll have to have another look at the picture. But, yeah. Yeah, well, but even so, even if there's a tiny ass little job. But yeah, and then just a little bit of highlighting is done on the jacket, on Sting. Did a little bit of some lines of metallic just to add to the effect of Sting. I think it looks quite good. Definitely the right choice to do it in blue. And obviously some highlighting on the actual metallic parts as well. Just some highlights on the rest of his skin, his hands, his feet, waistcoat. Basically just a bit of line highlights. And yeah, he's done. It's the same issue with the rest of the models of that particular type, where it's all one piece. It's the same problem I had with the Modern Day Plastic Fellowship as well when I painted those up, which is one of the reasons why I didn't do them on stream. The main reason why I didn't do them on stream was because I had the metal ones at that point, and I used them as essentially just basically to work out the basic colour scheme, and also so that way I had a painted Fellowship to use in case I wasn't able to get them painted for when I needed them. But so far, it's been fine. I'm actually quite a fair bit ahead, because we haven't actually played since, well, last time we played. We still haven't done the Fog and the Bow Downs scenario, because I need to finish sorting out my hills. But the one we all want to see. Ian Holm. I am very chuffed with this. I'm very, very, very chuffed with this. There's a little bit on his face there, which is just where the, you know, where the print has gone a bit wrong, but oh well. Oh well. When he's like, you know, on tabletop distance, you can't really tell. It just looks like a chin. It just looks like his chin's a bit pointy. Which, to be fair, it kind of is. It's Ian Holm. But no, I am very proud of this. I'm very pleased with how this turned out. Obviously, went in with metallic on the buttons, as I said I would. Leaving them till later was definitely the right choice. Got a little bit, went in with fine detail brush on the book, just to get the white on the pages back. And just a little bit of that highlight of edge highlighting across his jacket, just in different shades of red. And obviously a little bit of green on his back, and obviously again face, hands, just trying to pick out if you can, he wants to focus on his face. There we go. Yeah, just trying to make him still look old, so give him in the sunken in eyes a little bit, because obviously he's had the ring for 60 years, he's being slowly corrupted by it, so I made sure to keep it as much shade on the eyes as possible, just to give him that really sunken look on them. I think it works. It does look a little bit like the Joker with the grin. Like, the grin is a little bit creepy. But, yeah. I think it works. I think it works for him. I love this model. I love this model to bits. I'm so pleased with it. It turned out so well. Obviously, and in case you're wondering why I didn't base Martin Freeman with grass, is simply because this, obviously the main use for him will be for his company. I don't even think you can take young Bilbo in the Shire. I think he's only in Thorin's company in Erebor. But I don't know. I know Ian Holm Bilbo can be taken in the Shire, because he can be taken in the Shire or Rivendell, but I don't remember if young Bilbo can be taken in the Shire. I'd have to look. I'd have to look it up. I don't think he can. I'm pretty sure you can either take Ian Holm Bilbo plus and Gandalf, or you can take the four Travellers. But I might be wrong about that. But yes, that's them. And technically this does fit in with the whole Crest of the Fellowship prep that I'm doing, because once me and Izzy have played through the campaign, we're probably going to be doing it again with fantasy fellowships for each of us, because that was how the idea originally stemmed from, was the idea of doing a fantasy fellowship campaign. When I showed her that, both me and her were like, oh, that looks really cool. And then we were like, but it'd be simpler to just do the models as they were designed and then mess with it with fantasy fellowship. But we both have Bilbo as our Ringbearer for each of our fantasy fellowships. I believe we both have Martin Freeman Bilbo for our fantasy fellowships. She did it simply because she likes Martin Freeman and she likes Bilbo. I did it mainly so that way I can take one of the dwarves. That's just me, though. But yes, I mean, I would make an argument for the dwarves being able to accompany Ian Holm Bilbo as well, especially Balin. Like, I would die on the hill of you could replace Sam with Balin, regardless of which Bilbo you take. I would say you could take any dwarf, with the exception of I suppose it really like when on the timeline does Martin Freeman become Ian Holm, essentially, because it's like when like I would say like you definitely couldn't take Thorin, Fili or Keely with the Ian Holm Bilbo. I mean, you can't take Thorin as a replacement for Sam with Martin Freeman anyway, because he's over the point limit. I think it's the limit of like ones that are over 80 points, I think, can't be taken, which rules out. So it's all of them except for Thorin, Dwalin, and there's another one who's just over. I don't remember which one off the top of my head. Or it might just be Thorin and Dwalin. Anyway, so that's them done. Yes. So again, the next painting stream, which will be a week on Monday when you guys are watching this. So specific date, so you guys can write it in your diaries or whatever, will be the 7th of October. I will be painting up the Cave Troll and the Wild Warg Chieftain. Yes. So that should be interesting. That should be fun. I enjoyed painting the troll. I enjoyed painting my Mordor troll from Penal Fields. I enjoyed painting up the 18 regular wargs. So yeah, but we're getting into Moria. Yes, and I need to decide what I'm gonna do, like in terms of the Christmas one. I don't know. But yeah. Anyway, have a good rest of your evening, afternoon, day, whatever the time may be for you. Whatever the time this goes up. It'll probably go up. This will probably go up on probably Monday at the very latest. But yes. Thank you everyone for tuning in. I will catch you all later. I'm going to get this edited and have some food and then do a stream. And also do a quick camera test to see if the Balrog and the Watcher in the Water is going to work. Doing them on stream, because that will also dictate what we do after these two. Anyway, bye now.